when
the
it comes
best place
to
to start,
Mhm.
you meet your people where they are. You first need to understand who you serve. Like, who does your business serve? If you don't know that, then you can't strategize anything, right? So I'm talking about knowing them down to like giving them a name. Like, I know Sarah. If I see Sarah down the street, Sarah done been in her business for 5 years. Her business was working really well at one point because everybody was referring her. Now all of a sudden, business has dried up because she doesn't have any systems in place to properly do her marketing. Also, she don't like social media. She don't like getting on there. She don't like putting out videos. She has imposter syndrome, so she's not actively talking about her business, and she feels stuck. She quit her job to become an entrepreneur. And now she's like, baby, I need to go back to work because this not making me any money, right? Sarah needs me because I can help Sarah get all the ideas that are in her head, put it on paper, prioritize them, and automate them.
Wow. Okay, you just built a whole CRM system in your head right now. That's so crazy. With one person, that's crazy.
You have to have your ideal client. That is the first step. And a lot of business owners think they know, but they'll tell me, oh yeah, they're 17 years old, they're Black, and they give me demographics.
That's not enough.
That's
we don't need demographic. We don't need that. That doesn't draw data either.
It's 7 p.m. What is Sarah doing right now at 7 p.m.? If you can't tell me what Sarah doing right now at 7 p.m., you don't know who
your
she
client.
is. You have to know them down to the science. Like,
I mean, and demographics, it does build data.
It does.
But I feel like that is literally the little piece. That's the little piece. Like, okay, I think about like people like Shein, Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works. They just they go based off of what you ordered. A lot of time it's based off of what you order. Oh, we saw that you bought this cinnamon flavored candle. Well, guess what's coming up this season?
You'll love this.
And I'm just like, how are they even able to automate? But I think, because it's kind of like when I think about email marketing. So we use a system for SRC Kitchen. We use MailChimp. So my email marketing guy, he goes ahead and links all based off of what you chose on the pop-up kitchen forms or any forms on our site. That's how he makes the if-then statements. And so based on those statements, that's what they're going to get that email in response. And I'm like, yo, I have closed deals on that kind of stuff. I have closed deals on that kind of stuff. So I do agree with you on that. It's just, I think, and that's another piece, email marketing, child. That's another form of sales that people don't talk. So that's the thing. So Kia, sales is so general and broad.
Yeah.
It's so vague. Oh, well, are your sales up? That's only people only I think connect sales to money.
Yep.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But it's just is there anything outside of money? Would you say the marketing?
Absolutely.
As well.
Marketing and sales are two different things, but they need each other, right? So if you think of it on a large scale, marketing is one-to-many communication. I'm talking to a whole room of people. I'm marketing to y'all. I've given my idea to y'all. I've pitched this thing wouldn't it be great if you could have? That's marketing. But then you say, that would actually be great. How do I get it? Now I'm talking to you. Okay, so here's what you need to do first. This is what you're going to feel like afterwards. And then once you get it, this is going to change your life. This is going to happen, right? So I'm walking you through this journey. And then you're like, now I want to give you my money. Boom, I close the deal. So marketing is one-to-many. Sales is one-to-one communication. Now where email marketing comes in is if you're on social media, right? You're marketing one-to-many. I'm giving my offer to the world. Whoever decides to bite clicks on my lead magnet, gives me their information. Now I'm doing one-to-one. That's sales.
That's a part of the funnel?
That's a part of the funnel. That's email marketing. So now you say you want to opt into this thing because you're interested in learning more. Great. Now I'm going to talk to you one-on-one. Or so you think. So you opt in. Now you're going to get an automatic email from me. And it's going to sound like I said it to you. Clarice, thank you for reaching out to me, girl. Let's talk. Automation. But it feels like I'm talking to you right now, right? So I send you this email and now I walk you through a nurture journey.
Yeah.
So I'm nurturing you. I'm talking to you about all the problems you're probably facing. And here are the solutions. Now this is why I'm the person to solve that problem. Then you give me your money. Now I close the deal, right? So it's a journey. Sales is not just, did you make the money? It's a process. It's taking your client from not aware to wanting to fix the problem, to fixing the problem and giving you the money.
So first of all, I heard three things because you're pretty much there's problems and then you're giving solutions. You're providing solutions. That's why you're able to do what you do.
Yeah.
And another thing that I heard too is that there's a process.
Yep.
Because the thing is, at least the challenges that I'm seeing with my clients, especially with coaching. See, I and we'll get into that. When I'm talking to some of my clients, they're telling me, "Oh, well, Reese, am I going to make money from it though?" And I'm like, "You don't even have a website." You don't even have a landing page. How are people going to buy your stuff?
Right.
You don't, at least if you even have like a link, you know, no one's taking cash in hand anymore. Like, I'm so sorry to tell you. I mean, maybe some hairstylists are, you know, but I'm just saying, if you want to have a digital business, like an e-commerce, nobody's taking it. It's called e-commerce for a reason.
You have to be
online. What I'm realizing too is that people don't realize that people don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
And because what you just said right now is literally work. It's going to require you to be able to go through every part of that funnel. And so when you think about the funnel, do you think that can you skip a step, or there's like no steps that you can actually skip?
So you can't skip a step. The prospect can skip a step. It's not on you to skip a step. A prospect can literally go from being aware and walk themselves through a journey mentally and say, I want to buy this. And they don't even have to be nurtured. So they can skip the steps, but that's not on you to do.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense because I was reading that it takes a client on average 12 times to come to your site and actually buy.
So like, now imagine how business owners are on social media and they're like, oh, well, I post all the time and nobody, girl, you posted one time and you thought that everybody was going to flock from that one post. You're going to have to keep posting and find new ways to say the same thing over and over again, because they're not going to get caught by that one thing. And here's the thing, people rely too much on social media. Like, oh my God. That's the first step, right? You put it out there. Give them a reason to go to your website. Give them a reason to get off of Instagram to go to your website so you can capture their information. That's where the process starts.
But I mean, think about COVID. We couldn't go nowhere. We can get on the internet though. So you have to understand that piece of going through that funnel, nobody's thinking about that. You know what? People are just posting stuff on Instagram because at the time, I mean, there was nothing else that we can do. So like, of course, people are going to forget all that process, or they're not even thinking about that.
They weren't
They're
thinking
like, oh, well, people can buy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, I think that's just a struggle for those that want to actually like become a successful business, is knowing that there's work to be done. And social media is, yes, I thank God for social media when it's used properly, you know, but I also think that people are not realizing that there's more to your business than social media.
Yes.
Like, I have clients that have never heard of email marketing. I have clients that don't even use their mouth to tell people about what they do.
Isn't it crazy?
And yet they're like, oh, I keep posting. I posted 5 times a day. And I'm like, well, one, this content is trash. I hate to, like, yes, there's a such thing as your content being trash. Your content will be trash. Like, your content is trash and you're not even taking the time out to first. You don't even know your niche.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're selling.
Yeah.
You're telling me a bunch of stuff. Like, first of all, there's like 10 things in one video. I don't even know what's going on. But, you know, I just find that interesting that social media is literally people's only selling point. You know, you've heard about a USP, a unique selling point.
Yeah.
So like when I ask people that in coaching calls, I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of a USP? I'm like, so your unique selling point. And they're like, I mean, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, that's how my video went viral. Okay, yeah, I'm glad you got one viral video, but there's so many influencers, there's so many people on the internet that will tell you they've gone viral and they made no money from it. They got numbers. Their data's doing well, their analytics is great, but they made no money from it. Because people are like, oh, this was funny. Oh, this was great. Save. But I also think that when people are going viral, they don't realize that they have a niche.
Yeah.
They don't study their content enough. Because I tell my clients that all the time. You're talking about, okay, Instagram is my best selling point. Well, how is that when you said that you haven't sold anything this month? You didn't sell anything this month. So if you didn't sell anything this month, are you studying your content? Do you actually know what you do? Before you go and try to convince somebody else to buy your stuff, go study your own content.
Yeah.
So like, I guess for me, so what do you feel like especially when it comes to sales? If I am literally a newbie at sales and I'm just like, look, if I'm a newbie to sales and you're like, okay, you know, well, what are you selling? kind of what are you asking before I actually dive into doing the work? Because yes, doing a sales process is work, but like where do I begin?
Yeah. So on my coaching calls, before you even pay me to become a client, we go through an hour-long session. I find out who your target audience is, and then I make you sit down and identify all the problems that client is facing. So one, you need to understand who they are. The second thing, you need to figure out what keeps them up at night. If it's nothing keeping them up at night, then what are you here for? Like, why do they want to listen to you? What problem are you solving for them?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you think that's something do you still need to know that when you're building a startup?
But yeah, absolutely. Because who are you pitching it to? Like, your business should be based around solving a problem. It has to be based around solving a problem. And it can be something as small as, like, for instance, you have your YouTube show, right? You're solving a problem for someone because you're educating them on topics that they didn't already know. So while they may not be the person that consumes every single video that you have, one of the titles may be exactly what they were looking for, exactly the answer to what was keeping them up at night, right? So you're solving a problem for somebody. So you have to create your business around solving a problem for somebody. Businesses typically start because it's passion, right? I'm really passionate in this, or I want to make a lot of money doing this. I heard you can, but you gotta figure out what problem that solves. So we find that out, and then we do the differentiator. So it's basically a USP. What makes you different from everybody else that's doing the same thing?
Yeah.
If you can't tell me that, then why would they choose you over anybody else?
So with my clients, I'm so glad that you brought up solving a problem. I'm always asking, well, what you do, does it solve a problem? Like, if I'm like, man, I can't think of no other way. Do you have wisdom for me? Because like I tell my clients all the time, like, people gonna pay for that. Yeah. People gonna pay for what they don't know.
Exactly.
I know I've wasted money on stuff that I didn't. I've wasted money on stuff that I did not know and I did not use. But it's the fact that you haven't. I can always have at the back of my head, like, oh, you know what? I can always go back in the archive. I have all this stuff up. So, like, when it comes to even just figuring out what makes you unique, like, there's a piece where you're telling them, okay, who their ideal client is, but like, how do you actually find out what makes you unique in your business that sets you apart? How do you actually find that out? Like,
sometimes it has to be something that you create. Maybe it's something that you do differently than everybody else, but sometimes it could be what your past clients have said about you. The reason that they bought from you and not everybody else, right? So I'm a makeup artist. Makeup artists are like, it's 1 million of them in Houston. There's 1 million makeup artists in Houston. Jesus. Why would they book with Susie Bougie when they can just pay $50?
This person over here.
Yeah, baby. And
because you got those,
and you still gotta go to house. I ain't gonna talk about it. Okay, but the thing that makes me different is, one, I travel to you, and two, I make you feel like this is all about you. You are going to look and feel like the best version of yourself when I finish with your makeup. And I affirm my clients the entire time. My clients will tell you every time I sit down, I'm picking out features. Bare face, I'm like, oh my God, your brows are so fire. Like, are those natural? I ain't gassing you. I'm really taking inventory of your face because I'm the one that has to map it out, right? So I'm picking out the features that I really love so that I can highlight it, but I'm telling you what I love about it. So now you have a newfound confidence in yourself about stuff you didn't even know you look good, right? Makeup artist not really doing that. They come in, they doing your makeup. They gonna kiki with you, whatever, you know. I'm gonna do that too, but I'm gonna affirm you along the way. So when you finish and you look in the mirror, you like, dang, like, I look good. But you look like how everybody already sees you. I just highlighted it for you.
It's interesting because I feel like even with makeup, I don't think that a lot of makeup artists really understand how much of a blessing that is to actually, like, first of all, I'm sitting in your chair because I really think you're good at what you do, but you are affirming me the whole time. That's another selling point as well. You are actually having a conversation with me. You're pretty much fellowshipping with me. Like, we've all come across makeup artists. I mean, I haven't really came across a lot of makeup artists, but like, there's been, at least from hearing what other people say, but like, you come across artists who like they just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Huge chip on their shoulder. And for them, it's just literally just a post and they get likes and they get a DM. I think that even those makeup artists that have 100-some thousand followers, their goal, because they've already hit, they already feel like, okay, I've got over 50,000 followers. Why do I need to go this far? Why do I need to go further than that? The proof is in the pudding. I have a whole clientele. I have a portfolio. That's fine, but you're nasty.
if your business is built around you just making money,
it's built around you. It's not even built around them.
My business is built around the other person. How can I serve you?
It's a
better?
self-serving business. Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. It's a serving business.
In the process, I make money from it, but I want to help you. And if I don't feel good about doing your makeup that day, you're not going to feel good about me being there, right? So it can't be about me, because if it's about me, my mood is always going to dictate the mood in the room.
I mean, I feel like that's with any business.
With any business,
that's
right?
with any business.
You always have to have the other person in mind.
Exactly. I mean, I catered for 8.5 years. Jeez. I was a athlete chef. I cooked for other people in their homes, and I was blessed with a lot of opportunities over the years. And let me tell you, you have to serve.